Hello, this video is an example of how self-belief and being open to ideas that you've never come across before can completely change your life and alter what is set out to be your future. Let me explain, because it does say, broken back to yoga teacher. So in 2003, I was on holiday in the mountains of Italy, as it happens, on a very beautiful, very wonderful yoga retreat. And on the last evening that we were there, we were given the opportunity to go horse riding. Now, I've been horse riding maybe 3 or 4 times in my life before. Just in those circumstances, on holiday, I'll go horse riding. 3 of us decided we would go, and one lady had never ridden before at all, and the other lady had been riding before, but as a child, and she was now like 50, so it'd been nearly 40 years. We were taken on this trek through the mountains. There was a young girl with us, about 10, who'd obviously a rider, but the first time at that school. And then the man from the school who was guiding us didn't check on our abilities or anything first. And with us through this narrowness and up mountains and down mountains, well, it felt like mountains, there were hills, but were quite large dogs, sort of mountain dogs. So they're running in and out between the horses. So you're quite, and I do remember having the thought, it's not like a car, I can't strap myself in. And I knew that, at least I had been riding before. So we're going along, and then we come to a road, quite wide, and on the other side was a farmhouse. And as we're crossing this road, then dogs belonging to the farmhouse come out and start fighting with the dogs that are with us. So all I'm trying to do is keep the horse steady and keep moving. And I presume he stumbled, this horse. I don't know much more than that. But the next thing I knew, I was going like that, and there was a tree or a bush or something in front of me. So your automatic reaction is to do that. Well, the horse carried on stumbling, and I went off the horse. And I hit the ground, and the pain, I just kept screaming, my back, my back, my back. And to cut a long story short about being in hospital and all the different things that happened, I, being my determined self, because I was actually due to come home the next morning, well, leave the next morning and fly home the following evening, I don't think they realised or what, and I certainly didn't, because I was in a strange state. I'd actually broken my back. Now, to clarify, broken back, because so many people have said to me, oh, you'll end up like Superman, and you've Christopher Reeve, God love him, he's now died. That is breaking the spinal cord. I hadn't done that. You've got lots of little bones in your back, and I'd broken one of those. And by break, it's across. It's not, it's not going down and breaking it in half that way. It's across that way. And when I got back here, and we went to the hospital here, back in the UK, they confirmed it was a broken back. Now, I had been given a very large collar, not the kind you get here, which are nice and, quite bendy in a way. This was metal, and it held me like that. And I was told to wear it for 3 months. When I got to the hospital here, the nurse, bless her, said she was very apologetic for laughing, but she'd never seen anything like it. So as they said to me, if I'd left that on for 3 months, I'd have had no neck muscles left. And at that point, I'd already discovered I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't move my neck. So, and there's a great deal of muscle damage on my back. And they'd also given me a steel corset. Now, I was allowed to take that off at night. So what I worked out was that I had to use the collar so I could get in bed, and then to get out of bed the next morning, because I had no strength in my neck whatsoever. So that was next to me. And I wore this steel corset. So you then go to physio, and I'm a very good patient. I did everything. And of course, I have been by that time doing yoga for maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. And so I was good at doing my exercises. I did all the strengthening, all the bending, you name it, I did it. And I was given physio. I went in the hot pool, and they even gave me acupuncture, which was a very strange experience. I mean, she just put it in, turned it, pulled it out, and I was gone. And each time it was a little bit less, but that was to relax me, obviously, because I was doing that. And I got to a point 14 months down the line where I walked with a stoop, and I was always in pain. I was taking painkillers like they were sweeties. So I went back to the hospital. I got referred back, and he made this statement, the consultant. He said, "We have done all we can do." That was true. "So you will be in pain for life, and you will never walk straight again." No, I wasn't having that. I'm a very positive, very much, I want to be given something to do so I can make it better. And he was just saying, "No, that's it." So I wasn't giving up just because he said that. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew I'd find the right thing. And I came across somebody who did something called emotional freedom technique. Now, I'd heard about that much about EFT, as we call it. So I knew very little. And what we worked with, that we actually spent a whole afternoon, which isn't the way you would normally treat somebody. You'd do sessions an hour and a half, but we just did like nearly 5 hours. And your back, your whole body, and it's getting this idea of being somatic, that your body represents how you're feeling. So if I've got, I'm feeling quite angry, see what the body does? Or you're tense and you shake, and so your body's reacting to your feelings. So there was this, the broken back bit was actually had been solved. It's like breaking an arm. Instead of mine being, in plaster, I was in the steel corset, but it healed. But it was the muscle damage that was, So your back is your main support in life. So the question I was asked was, where in my life did I feel unsupported? Now, that could have been work, home, relationships, parents, friends. It could have been anywhere. I'm not saying what it was, but I knew where I was unsupported. And then he asked me the question, which is the worst instance of you being unsupported? And I knew what that was as well. So then he asked me how I felt about that, because I was unsupported, and I felt that, but there would be other feelings in there. I'd be angry that I was unsupported. I would be sad that I was unsupported. I'd be frustrated. I don't know what the feelings are, because of course they're gone now, but that was the range of things that would come up. And for each one, you scale it on a scale of 1 to 10. And then he picked out the one that was the highest number. That was obviously really holding it all up, if you like. He then asked me to describe my pain in terms of a texture. And what came straight to my mind was, I said, it's leather. And he just said, if this leather was an object, what would it be? And I said, it's a baseball glove, and it's gripping my back. So there, we put that to the side. That's how we measured my pain. So then we did the tapping. So it would be, say I felt angry that I was unsupported, to a 10. It would be this tapping on the side of the hand, even though I feel unsupported by the person it was, I totally and completely love and accept myself. I felt unsupported, even though I felt unsupported on that time when that person, and we would be being very specific. And we do that, and it starts with, even though I totally and completely love and accept myself, with the description in between, so that if there is part of me that's kind of, and I want to carry on with being angry, then I'll let them off if I'm not angry. Then that, even though I totally completely love and accept myself, it does that. Or it might be, I'm stupid for feeling like this. Then it would get rid of that. Once we've tapped the side of the hands 3 times, then we do a round of tapping, which is slightly to the back of the head, the top of the head there. And it's just the fingers doing that, if I just show you. Okay. And we just say, I'm angry because I was unsupported. I'm going to be saying, I am really angry because I'm unsupported. It's the next bit's beginning of the eyebrow. Then there's that bony bit at the side. I'm really angry because I was unsupported. I am really, really angry because I was unsupported. And I would say who it was and the situation as I'm going around describing it. Then it's a soft fist just on the collarbone there. And then we have the flat of the hand underneath the arm. Okay. Big sigh is the most common reaction. Some people yawn, some people cough, some people burp, some people cry, some people giggle all the way through. But what you're doing is letting go of tension. And so then I was asked to scale the anger on the scale of 1 to 10, and it would have come down. But then we went back, we worked quite a bit on that anger until we got it to 0, where there was no anger left about that. And then I was asked to describe the pain again. I said, now it's a kid leather glove and I can do that with it. So it changed. So then we continued to work on all the different aspects, as we would call them, those different feelings I had. Gauge them again, because if you've got rid of one at 10, then the others will have come down, and go for the next highest until the end. I was able to say, there's nothing left. And from that day, I was able to walk straight and I didn't have any pain. And I went into work the next morning and people were utterly shocked. I remember walking through an office, it was a long office, and they just went, what did you do over the weekend? And I said, you're not going to believe me. But you see, I was walking straight. And because I was walking straight and not in any pain, my face had relaxed. Which I wasn't even aware there was that tension there. So that broken back led me into a whole new world. And once I was able to find the confidence and the right course, which was about 3 years later, then, or 3 years after the accident, I should say, I was able to join DRU Yoga. I joined their training course, and the rest, as they say, is history. But even then, through that, I can remember one day we were doing, those of you familiar with yoga, we were doing the Sphinx, where you're laid down on your stomach and you're lifting so that there's this, you're holding up. And I collapsed with a pain again. So one of the teachers came across straight away and said, don't do that then. But me being me, I thought, I'll have another go. Oh, no, pain, collapsed again. And one of the other teachers came across and I said, I should know, there's something trapped. So I had to go away and think about what was trapped in my back, and I tapped on it, and then I was able to do the Sphinx, no problem. Another time we were doing the wheel, and the wheel is quite a strange one because you're over like that, and the way we teach it, first of all, is to be on a chair, and so you've got your bottom off the chair, your back's on the actual chair, and then they are so that you're over like that. And as I went to come over the chair, I had a bit of a panic because I felt like I was falling off that horse again. So that night at home, I tapped on those feelings about falling off the horse and linked it to the yoga, and from then on I could do it. So it can be used in so many ways, but it changed my life completely. So if you're interested in knowing more about emotional freedom technique and how it can help you with your anxiety, stress, because everything that's physically wrong is due to anxiety, some kind of negative emotion. And it might not be something you're aware of on your body, or you've even come to accept and don't think about it. It's whatever negativity is going on for you at the moment. I do run regular introductory workshops, so you can always come to one of them. My next one is actually, this is 2021 now, and it's on Monday the 2nd of February, 7 to 8:30 in the evening. Open worldwide, absolutely worldwide. So do join me for an introductory evening. I do training as well. I'm now an advanced practitioner and a trainer, so it's become my life, and it's all online now as well. So do take care. I hope that was interesting for you. Namaste.